Well, hey guys, welcome back. So I decided to do a little bit of a follow-up video on my Vegas series here. And the reason is because I didn't get a whole lot of other footage. Originally, I had planned to do some vlogs from the hotel room and then also go out onto the strip and give you guys an idea of what what was out there. Although there's tons of other videos that you can watch to see that. I really kind of wanted to give you guys some of that. But here's the reality of being in Vegas. Things take a lot longer than you expect them to in terms of like getting around to places. Especially you've got to walk most of the way unless you're going to pay a lot of fees in cab rides and stuff like that. And so basically, it came down to, like, there were days where, I forgot the camera, but then also in terms of forgetting the camera, I also left it behind intentionally because, well, I mean, there's just so much to do, and I was a little bit overwhelmed. I was having a great time, yes, but it was overwhelming in terms of the amount of things to do and what we wanted to see. And so I didn't take the camera with me any of the days, and so I didn't get any good shots of like the strip and all of that. The other thing is that I was kind of sketched out about the casinos and being in and around casinos with a camera, which 98% of the buildings that you're going to be in out there are casinos. I don't know if that's an exact percentage, but that's pretty much, what I could see. I mean, like, every building is a casino as you go down the strip pretty much. So, so anyways, yeah, you don't want to be in there with a camera and having them, like eyeballing you and wondering what's going on, especially if you haven't given them previous notice of you being there and found out what are appropriate areas they would be okay with you filming in and what aren't. So that's basically another part of the reason why I decided not to take the camera. But yeah, it's a super amazing place to go to if you've never been there before. Be wise with your money. They make it really hard not to spend every dime that you have, and that's in terms of little hidden fees that show up when they say, like, hey, this is free. For instance, we got a dinner tickets for the buffet at the Stratosphere, and the guy who gave them to us was like, oh yeah, hey, yeah, it's a free dinner, take it and enjoy it and stuff like that. But then when you get to the counter, they say, oh yeah, well, there's a $5 processing fee. Well, that's not exactly free. And, the guy who gave us the tickets didn't tell us that. However, that being said, the buffet dinner that we got was normally a $30 dinner. So $5 for the both of us, $5 each for us to have dinner at the buffet in Vegas was actually a pretty dang good deal. So anyways, yeah, they get away with like a lot of little fee things like that are kind of hidden in the background that you don't find out until you get there, and then you're like, oh, well, I still really want to do this, even though it wasn't free and wasn't as advertised. And so you spend money that way. You can spend lots of money on transportation. Sarah and I did not. You can spend all sorts of money in the hotels. My advice to you would be to look up online all of the free stuff that you can do in Vegas, because there are lots of cool shows that you can go and see that are free, and they're good. It's not like it's crap quality entertainment. They're pretty good. Lots of free stuff to do. And we did that. We looked up things that were free to do. There were also things like we had a nice dinner at the Stratosphere that was not free, and that was quite expensive. But we looked up things from both categories and sort of decided where we were going to spend our money, that we were going to get the most enjoyment out of it, and not destroy our bank accounts. So we did that, and that would be my suggestion to you if you go to Vegas. just to look up all these free things, plan how you're going to spend your money, be very, I want to say frugal when you're down there, because when you think you're being frugal, they're still going to get money from you, one way or the other, right? You end up spending more than you went down to, even without gambling. And that's another thing. I advise you to go with a set amount of money that you want to gamble. Sarah and I did not do a set amount of money, but we also were very, cautious. It's not like we sat down at a machine or whatever, or at a table and just went for hours and hours and hours gambling. No, we would put maybe $20 in here, $20 in there, and then if we had, anything decent in terms of winning, try and cash it out, or maybe sit there a bit longer, right? Because we realize that one way or the other, the house is going to get your money if you continue gambling. And so, I think we won like $30 on the machine once, and we just kept going with that machine. We were just like, okay, that's fine. We want to sit here and enjoy ourselves a little bit longer. One of the things that I didn't really like about the casinos, however, was convenience a bit for myself and Sarah, is that there's smoking inside. Smoking everywhere pretty much down there, and I didn't like that because you're just in smoke and you smell like it all the time. Unfortunately, I do have that awful habit, and I do smoke more than I would like to, which is not at all. And so that was convenient in a way, but it was also like really gross. They started to come out with the laws banning smoking in indoor structures when I was before I was able to smoke and be in those sorts of buildings like bars and stuff like that. Canada's completely banned it, and I think it's great. Not only is it better for the non-smokers in there, but it's also just better for you in general. You don't want to be sucking in all that secondhand smoke on top of the smoke that you're already putting in your lungs on purpose. And in terms of it being better for the other people, not only is it better for their health, but it's also, like way less annoying for them. Smokers, yeah, we have a right to smoke, but should it impede on the comfort of others? No, it really shouldn't, and we should be just as courteous about making sure that we're not smoking and making people feel uncomfortable in an enclosed area, and basically, like, I was sitting down at a machine. Sarah had gone to the washroom, and I lit up a cigarette, and I was just sort of sitting there hitting a couple of the buttons. And this lady just said, she's super annoyed. She didn't say it directly to me, but you could hear her like in a little bit of a louder voice, like, "Oh, shouldn't allow smokers in here. Like, it's ridiculous." And she moved to another machine, right? And I kind of felt bad about that. At that point, the damage is done. However, in an environment like that where smoking is allowed, well, I feel like she could have chose not to put herself in that situation, which is difficult to in Vegas to avoid. But well, if you're putting yourself in that situation, you probably shouldn't be complaining about it. But that being said, she's absolutely right. They probably shouldn't allow smoking in there. It's just bad all the way around. Anyways, so other than that, Vegas was a great trip. It was an amazing experience. If you have the opportunity and the money to go there, I suggest that you do. Again, the money is not really it's not a big deal if you are cautious about how you are spending it and plan things out decently before you go. But yeah, you should definitely go. You should definitely see some of the stuff that's there, some of the free stuff. You should spend a little bit of money on some of the different things that are down there. Like, we went to see Chris Angel. Chris Angel puts on a phenomenal show. I've only ever seen him on TV, but he was amazing. That's just it. He was amazing. It was worth it. I think the tickets cost us, $100 or something a person. Totally worth it. Again, spend your money wisely. Go do cool things that cost money, but also, be cautious. Remember, that whole place is designed to get your money, and they will do it in any way they possibly can. Anyway, thanks for listening in. Sorry that I didn't get you more video and interesting clips of the strip, but I do plan to go back there. So hopefully at that point in time we can revisit some of the more cool things, and I can get some of that on camera once I'm a little bit more confident with what I'm doing, and I've planned things out a little bit further ahead of time for that. Anyway, again, thank you for listening in. Have a great day, guys. See you later.